I'm still getting questions on this de-dollarization crap.
Oh, I get them every day.
Still getting questions on it.
Go on.
Oh, you want me to talk about de-dollarization?
Yeah.
Yes, I'd love to talk a little bit about it. Should we take a break first and then talk about that?
No.
You want to talk about it now?
Keep going.
Okay. Let me talk a little bit about what we're seeing from a de-dollarization perspective, because everyone and their grandma's like, oh my goodness, have you guys seen what's going on with the Chinese currency? Like, the Chinese yuan is going to replace the U.S. dollar.
And I'll go a step beyond that. There is an insinuation and a claim by people that it already is doing so. That it's already happened, it's already here. It's not, oh, this is going to happen in the future. The message that I'm hearing from people is, wow, have you seen what's already happened to the dollar and where people are already moving their currency?
Let me tell you about what happened in 2022. At the beginning of 2022, okay, you had about 4 trillion yuan worth of Chinese debt that was held overseas. Okay? Foreign holdings of Chinese debt.
Chinese yuan debt that was held outside of China.
As of the start of 2023, that was down to about 3.2 trillion.
So less willing to hold it.
Chinese debt held overseas decreased by about 20% last year. That, in fact, indicates that from an overseas perspective, meaning, hey, you're another country, do you want to hold my currency? The answer was no. And no one wants to talk about this because it's not scary to say, oh, maybe China's not going to,
And likewise, you can look at this from a number of different perspectives. You can look at it from how much trade is done in dollars over the last several decades. It hasn't moved at all. But I will take it one step further. Maybe you don't believe Chuck's view on this, and maybe you are of the opinion that whatever's happened over the last year is irrelevant because it's all going to change next year. I would ask you one question. What do you do about that?
Or ask this question. Here's the question that anyone talking about this has no clue on. Okay, what does it mean? Let's say that I'm wrong. And let's say the Chinese yuan does become the new world reserve currency. Ooh, world reserve currency. Woohoo! What does it mean for the U.S.? Tell me. Text right now at 617-362-1385. And if you believe that that's going to happen in the next 12 months, tell me what actually it means for the United States. Because all I can think of, and again, this is what it comes down to most of the time, it's mostly people who are just like, oh, that means that, the dollar is going to be worth nothing after that. Well, okay, A, no, and B, even if it was, like, what does that mean for you as a human being living in the United States? Tell me how your life changes in the next 12 months if the Chinese yuan replaces the U.S. dollar as 60% of the world reserve currencies, despite the fact that that clearly is not going to happen.
I mean, I'd take it a step further, even if they become 10% of the world currencies, which is, still not likely, but far more likely than 60. I don't know how it changes.
You know what this feels like to me? Do you remember back in the fall in October when we had all those claims about the fact that the United States was going to run out of diesel?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember when the U.S. was going to run out of diesel in the fall?
That was different because that was very provably false.
This is true. This is too. That's what I'm saying.
It's tough to prove a negative. Like with the diesel situation, you could actually look at the quantities.
Mike, I can look at the quantities of U.S. dollars that are involved in world transactions.
Yeah.
De-dollarization is not happening.
Yeah.